This year's Illinois FFA theme is Envision.
We believe that it is important to envision yourself achieving your goals.
Envision everlasting memories and friendships.
Envision your best self.
And envision the future of agriculture.
When I envision agriculture, I see FFA,
diversity,
Family.
I think of food.
I see everlasting opportunities.
When I envision FFA leaders, they are passionate,
Selfless,
thankful,
authentic,
Driven.
When I envision the future of Illinois FFA, I see more advisors,
100% chapter participation in the Foundation Local Collection Drive.
Record-breaking membership.
new CDEs,
More SAE net earning.
All of these answers are correct due to our different experiences and backgrounds.
These differing backgrounds and experiences create our perspectives in everything in life. On chapter visits, my teammates and I were able to witness this firsthand.
Last fall, we traveled 17,255 miles, visited 320 schools, and met with over 7,715 students to recognize and advocate for the different perspectives within agriculture.
During these chapter visits, we used paper airplanes to express our different perspectives when it comes to FFA, agriculture, and our favorite restaurants.
It's important that we recognize and accept all of these perspectives, because when we recognize that we're different, we can become better leaders, individuals, community members, and advocates of the agriculture industry.
Agriculture is everywhere.
Agriculture is business.
Agriculture is animal science.
Agriculture is growing leaders.
Agriculture is farming.
Agriculture is advocacy.
Agriculture is vet science.
Agriculture is education.
Agriculture is crop science.
Agriculture is advancing technology.
Agriculture is food science.
Agriculture is everywhere.
Envision agriculture education in every classroom.
Envision agriculture feeding the whole world.
Envision record-breaking membership.
Envision your future in the agriculture industry.
Envision the endless possibilities and opportunities in agriculture.
Envision your future in Illinois FFA.
We are the warriors who learn to love the pain. We come from different places, but have the same name. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this.
Illinois FFA members, advisors, friends, and family, it is time to meet your 2019-2020 State Officer Team. Your Section 1 President from the Lena Winslow FFA Chapter, Samantha Kemple. Your Section 2 President from the Amboy FFA Chapter, Margaret Vossen. Your Section 3 President from the Anawan FFA Chapter, Joshua Sims. Your Section 4 President from the Rockridge FFA Chapter, Eliza Lilleman. Your Section 5 President from the Midland FFA Chapter, Bradley Weber. Your Section 6 President from the Sycamore FFA Chapter, Allie Drake. Your Section 7 President from the Salmonock Leland Sandwich FFA Chapter, Avery Plody. Your Section 8 President from the Chicago High School for Agricultural Sciences FFA Chapter, Liliana Romero. Your Section 9 President from the Olympia FFA Chapter, Molly Shep. Your Section 10 President from the Tri-Point FFA Chapter, Rodney Billerbeck. Your Section 11 President from the Bushnell Prairie City FFA Chapter, Tessa Sargent. Your Section 12 President from the Havana FFA Chapter, Sophia Reevely. Your Section 13 President from the Pittsfield FFA Chapter, Lauren Sachs. Your Section 14 President from the New Berlin FFA Chapter, Emily Curry. Your Section 15 President from the Southwestern FFA Chapter, Madeline Thornsberry. Section 16 President from the Sullivan FFA Chapter, Zane Gardner. Your Section 17 President from the Tuscola FFA Chapter, Morgan Jones. Your Section 18 President from the Georgetown Ridge Farm FFA Chapter, Andrew Davis. Your Section 19 President from the Pana FFA Chapter, Chase Timmons. Your Section 20 President from the Altamont FFA Chapter, Emma Coons. Your Section 21 President from the Mount Vernon FFA Chapter, Katie Huff. Your Section 22 President from the Valmeyer FFA Chapter, Lexi Miller. Your Section 23 President from the Mount Carmel FFA Chapter, Coy Carroll. Your Section 24 President from the Marion FFA Chapter, Taylor Dirksen. And your Section 25 President from the Vienna FFA Chapter, Jordy Oliver. And now, your 2019-2020 Major State Officers. From Section 7 in the Serena FFA Chapter, your State Treasurer, Emma Freebaron. From Section 12 and the Midwest Central FFA Chapter, your State Secretary, Colin E. White. From Section 14 and the Athens FFA chapter, your state reporter, Brody McCormick. From Section 23 in the Fairfield FFA chapter, your state's Vice President, Lane Harvey. From Section 3 and the Cambridge FFA chapter, your state president, Gage Miller. And from Springfield, your state FFA advisor, Dr. Erica Tiemann. Came up together, so we all down for the fight. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Family ain't nothing strong as that. And I'll be posting word as strong as that. Brothers by my side, city on my back. Real heroes, that's what the people want. They ain't born, gotta create them. Saying we gone soon as we save them. That's part of the plan. By my side, I'ma keep my brothers. Live or die, man, we need each other.
The convention hall will come to order. We are now holding the election session of the 92nd Illinois FFA State Convention. Mr. Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they're at their stations, and report back to you, Mr. President. The Sentinel.
Station by the door.
Your duty's there.
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The Reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The Treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duty's there.
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The Secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duty's there.
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The Advisor.
Here, by the owl.
Why by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I am asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based in true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why do you keep the plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom may accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Mr. President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
We are proud to broadcast this convention to a record-breaking 20,761 members, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. FFA members, why are we here?
To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA membership possess.
May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this meeting duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented. Lane, Brody, Colin, Emma, and I have spent an amazing time serving Illinois FFA with this individual this past year. It is my honor to introduce to you an individual who has dedicated to agriculture education and the FFA. It is very important that you listen to what she has to say today because she was in our shoes at one point and is committed to the future of our organization. I would now like to turn it over to Ms. Bunsmeyer.
Good evening, Illinois FFA members and delegates. It is a tradition that I bring remarks on behalf of Illinois FFA to all of our delegates during the election session. Traditionally, when I bring those remarks, I applaud our state officers and thank our FFA Center staff for putting on an amazing convention. A little differently this year, I still have to thank our staff. They have held things together for the past 3 months, and I have to thank them for continuing to serve Illinois FFA and agricultural education. We're so fortunate to have the staff that we do at the Illinois FFA Center. I would like to thank the delegates from last year. They did a tremendous job in finding exceptional leaders in Gage, Lane, Brody, Colin, and Emma. These 5 individuals have served you exceptionally well. They have served you with gratitude and with drive and with passion and, more importantly, compassion. They all have such unique individual characteristics, but they came together as a truly authentic team, and they serve you with a remarkable style of leadership. I'm very thankful to last year's delegates for putting together this amazing team, and words can't express how proud I am of this team for overcoming adversity they've been faced with and challenges, looking at them and taking them head on. Soon, or you may have already seen, our convention theme video. And in that video, our officers once again focused on FFA members' perspectives. Each and every individual has a perspective, and that perspective brings tremendous value to our organization. For those of you who had the opportunity to experience chapter visits with them, you know as they tossed those paper airplanes around the room, they were gathering your perspectives. And not just gathering them, but valuing them. And reminding each and every one of you how important it is to appreciate and respect one another's perspectives and experiences. This team is exceptional, and I cannot begin to think about how great they will do as they move into their next step. We talk about next steps. That's your job, the 2020 delegates. Your job is to elect this next team. We have 10 exceptional candidates. And you're wondering, I'm sure, well, the election is so different this year. I'm doing it from my ag room or from home. And while I know it's challenging, I know that you are up for this. Because while it might be different, your job is still the same. You are to vote for leaders who value each and every perspective that you have. And you are also looking for leaders who demonstrate dedicated and trusted leadership, who demonstrate great work ethic and integrity and the values of our organization. You might think that that's pretty hard to tell in a virtual setting, and I understand that concern. But I'm also very confident that if you listen to what our delegates say and how they say it, you'll be able to find that in these leaders. These young 10 men and women who are your candidates today have demonstrated that. They have proven that they can adjust and adapt to situations simply by going through the selection committee in a virtual format. I think you're going to find that these 10 candidates are exceptional and that they will offer the qualities that you're looking for. So please listen intently and seek in them the dedicated leaders that have served you well. They are still going through this process and still want to serve Illinois FFA, even though their year of leadership as a major state officer could be very different than any leader before them. They are faced with a great deal of uncertainty and in many cases probably adversity. Yet they're still here in your trusted care as a delegate. So I ask that you do listen to them intently and focus on what they have to say and share with you tonight. As you listen very intently to their speeches, and you seek to find in them the leaders who will lead our organization, I ask that you continue to hold the integrity of this election process to the highest standard. As we are using a new format, let your vote tell your story. Let your vote be your post, your share, your voice. Having access to your personal devices and being on social media to conduct these elections doesn't open the gate for you to campaign for or against any of these candidates. It doesn't allow you the opportunity to share your votes or your thoughts or your opinions. We understand that this situation and our setup is different this year, but we also understand we have great expectations of you as young leaders in Illinois FFA, and those expectations have not changed. As leaders, we ask that you listen with great interest, that you vote with great intentions, and that you respect the process with the utmost integrity, while still looking for those dedicated leaders who you are confident will serve Illinois FFA well and value the perspectives and experiences of all FFA members. If at any time during the process you experience any technical difficulties, let your FFA advisor know. And FFA advisors, please call the FFA Center. The Illinois FFA Center phone number is 217-753-3328. We have FFA Center staff there and ready to take your phone call. Dial that number and hit 0, and we will be at your service. Illinois FFA Center staff, I thank you again. State officers, I thank you and applaud you again. Delegates, I thank you, and I ask you to do your job and wish you the best of luck.
Bunzelmeyer and all of Illinois FFA staff for assisting us with this process. We appreciate your guidance. As you entered your Zoom election delegate room today, your name was checked against the list of delegates by Illinois FFA Board of Directors, allowing us to have a virtual check-in. At this time, we will conduct a virtual roll call by asking 3 demographic questions, just as we did during our first business session on Tuesday afternoon. Please be aware that the app or browser may have notifications that could cover up some answers while voting. Be sure to close out those notifications before you cast your vote. Let's go ahead and do some of those practice questions now. Question number 1. Which FFA district are you from? Go ahead and cast your votes to your screen. You have about 30 more seconds to make sure we get this roll call correctly, so be sure that you're casting your vote. All right, our next question is, what grade level are you? You will have about 2 minutes to answer this question, so cast your vote to your screen. We have about 30 more seconds left, so be sure we are casting our votes to our screens. This is very important for us to make sure we're answering these practice questions, so please do so. Polling is closed, and we're going to go ahead and move on to our final question, which is location of demographic. You have about 2 minutes to answer this question, so please cast your vote. We have about 30 seconds remaining on this final practice question. Be sure we are casting our votes to our screens. Voting is now closed. Thank you for participating in our practice question survey. This will really help us for an accurate delegate count. If you're leaving the delegate Zoom room, please type a message into the chat icon to your FFA District Board representative. All motions, questions, seconds, or any action items must be typed into the chat icon to me, Gage Miller. I will view all motions and or actions typed by the delegates and recognize them accordingly and repeat them to the delegate room when necessary. When typing in the chat icon, please type your name and section in that order. It is important that all delegates stay for the entire session and cast their votes until election of all offices has taken place. It is extremely important that all delegates understand the balloting procedure. Delegates will vote for only one candidate per ballot. All voting will be done by secret ballot. To cast your vote, select the candidate of your choice at the bottom of your electronic device. You will see highlighted when selected. You are able to change your vote until the voting is closed, which is about 2 minutes. Please be aware that the app or browser may have notifications, like we said, that could cover up some answers while voting. Be sure to close those notifications before casting your vote. If you're experiencing a problem, type your problem in the chat icon to your district FFA board director. There will be a 2-minute voting period for you to cast your vote. I would encourage that you choose wisely and vote correctly the first time. When the voting period is closed, you will no longer be able to change your vote. From the time the candidates leave the stage, they will be given a minimum of 10 minutes in the holding area before they are brought back onto the stage for results. Again, you will have 2 minutes to cast your vote. It is not possible to cast more than one vote per ballot. A ballot not cast will be considered a spoiled ballot. Due to the circumstances of conducting our election session in a virtual format, all business is limited to what is currently on the agenda and already been shared. The chair will not entertain motions or actions that are not relevant to the business that has been identified and presented. We are about to begin one of the most important, nerve-wracking, and exciting activities of our entire year, the election of the 2020-2021 Major State Officer Team. Your decisions today will change the lives of 5 outstanding people. 1 year ago, our lives changed forever when we were fortunate enough to be elected as your state officers. So be sure to vote in the best interest of our association. The individuals you select today will not be attending college this fall. Instead, they will be dedicating 365 days to Illinois FFA and agriculture education. Exercise your vote carefully, wisely, and honestly. Remember that there is no perfect state officer or officer team, but you should make the decision that will best benefit our state association as a whole. Delegates, please listen carefully to each candidate's remarks and give them your full attention and respect. Each candidate is allowed a 3-minute maximum time for their first speech. If the candidate exceeds those 3 minutes, the microphone will be shut off. Without a further ado, help me welcome our first candidate for State FFA President. Our first candidate is Margaret Vossen.
Everyone is known for something. From George Strait being known as the king of country music to the Kardashians being reality TV show stars. Everyone is known for something. My name is Margaret Vossen, and I am known as a cross-country athlete, the favorite aunt, and a 5th-generation agriculturalist. Not only is everyone known for something, but everyone has the power to create or maintain their very own legacy. But today, I want to tell you the story of my dad's legacy. For him, his legacy is to continue the tradition of agriculture in his family. I have the privilege of being passed on my dad's love for agriculture in the most unusual of ways. My dad has always wanted a boy, someone to keep the farm in the family name, pass his growing farm machinery repair shop to, and continue the legacy of his great-grandfathers before him. My dad hoped and prayed that after 3 daughters and a baby on the way, he would finally have his son. Everyone could have swore Mom was having a boy. But on November 27th, I was born, Dad's 4th daughter. But that didn't stop him, because little did I know, I was about to become Dad's boy. I stand here today as Margaret Michael Vossen, named after my father himself, and he has taught me everything I know. From everything I love, like driving the grain cart and tagging along on service calls, to everything I don't like walking an undersprayed bean field in 95-degree heat. My dad has done his part to pass his legacy on to me all my life. In the FFA, every time we put on our blue corduroy jacket, we're automatically known for agriculture, premier leadership, personal growth, career success, and the list goes on. Some of you may be first-generation FFA members creating a legacy, and others may be 2nd, 3rd, or even 4th, tasked with continuing your families. Standing here as a 3rd-generation FFA member, I want to help provide the support and guidance to each and every member in the FFA so that they might attain their legacy, even if it's outside the FFA. So I ask you this, what do you want to be known for? Is it as a 1st-generation college student, a 2nd-generation nurse, or even a 3rd-generation member of the military? Whatever it may be, it would be a privilege to be known as your Illinois FFA state president so I can help guide you to those legacies. So elect me, Margaret Michael Vossen, as your Illinois FFA state president, and we'll build our legacies together. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Avery Plody.
Take a second and envision your favorite memory in the FFA. Maybe it's winning a competitive event. Maybe it's that feeling you get when you've served others and made a positive impact. Or maybe it's that crazy bus rider carpool to who knows where. Laughing, learning, and growing. There's so many amazing memories. My favorite memory is the combination of all of the members I've met throughout my time in the FFA. As leaders in our chapters and sections, we often set out to make an impact in the lives of those around us, while in fact, those that we meet are making their own impact on us as well. I could tell countless stories of the ways FFA members have changed my life. It's a member at LTS who showed me that just being there for others is what matters. It's a student on chapter visits who showed me that friendships can be made in any situation. It's friends from my own chapter who showed me that even when you lose, you've gained something from that experience. And it's a past state officer who simply by asking, "How's it going?" changed my whole outlook on that day. While seemingly small at the time, these moments are often what we remember most. Making new friends, laughing with one another, pushing each other to succeed, and becoming better people. There's power in these moments. They help to unite us together in this organization that we love. And when united, we can face and overcome the challenges that are plaguing this world. Just as we can envision our positive memories from the past, I can envision a bright future for our organization. Even though it may be hard to be optimistic in this time of uncertainty, I am confident that FFA will continue to grow and thrive. I know it because of the people I've met, the success I've seen, the servant leadership I know unites us all, and those little moments that truly define who we are. People can say that leadership is about serving others, but you never really know it until you experience it yourself. And that's why I stand before you here today. Because I know the potential of this organization and its members. Because I believe it is my purpose to serve and motivate. Because this is who I am. Illinois FFA, it would be an honor to serve as your 2020-2021 State FFA President so that we can make our little moments bigger than ever. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Molly Shemp.
This year involved a lot of travel. From FFA Leadership Camp in Monticello to the Chicago Midway Airport to Washington, D.C. Traveling light with official dress can be quite the task. I usually found myself overpacking and trying to make it all fit. Somehow, I always returned home with more than I left. Now, I am not talking about bug bites from camp or bucket hats from DC. I am talking about these special items that I added to my mini luggage box. Before I left for college last August, my mom gave me this special box about half the size of a shoebox, printed to look like luggage. Throughout this section president year, I have filled this box with notes and letters from members across Illinois, kindness cards from National Convention, and drawings from Group 17 at FFA Leadership Camp. Right now, this box is full of love. My freshman year in high school, my FFA advisor, Bryce Hoffman, said that in 3 years, not many people will remember what you have accomplished, but they will always remember what you did for them in that time. So how do I serve others? Through big love. My favorite way to spread love is through letters and good old snail mail. During my freshman year at the University of Illinois, my grandma, knowing how much I love to receive mail, sent me weekly updates from the farm and around the county. During midterm and final exam weeks, my mom would send me jokes and riddles. When I had to return home and complete the semester online, I reflected on one of my mom's list of things that just did not make sense. Like, why is the letter D in the word fridge, but not in refrigerator? A simple thing like that made me realize that we do not think about things that could be missing until we realize they are. It may seem like we are missing so much right now, but think of all the things we have gained. Choosing to have joy is courageously believing that there is still hope, even when life gets hard. Illinois FFA, this new major state officer team is going to have to work hard, spread hope, and find joy in the little things. I will do just that for you. Allow me to fill your luggage box of FFA experiences with joy, service, and big love. Illinois FFA, my name is Molly Shemp. Elect me as your state president, and together we will pack our suitcases full.
Our next candidate is Tessa Sargent.
Challenge and change. How many times have you been met with a challenge that seemed too substantial to overcome? We all know the easy thing to do would be to give up, turn away. Do we push through it or wait for it to blow over? What would you do? 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Not much time. As a matter of fact, it's less time than I am speaking to you. 2 minutes and 24 seconds is how long it took a horse affectionately named Big Red to run 2.5 miles on a dirt track in Louisville, Kentucky. But I want to talk to you about Big Red's owner. Big Red's owner was a suburban housewife who had little knowledge of the racing industry. Upon her mother's death, she was met with an ill father in a thoroughbred farm that was on its way to closure due to financial issues. She had the choice of taking on the challenge of turning the farm around or to let it go. Well, she chose to take on the challenge. Thanks to a simple coin toss, she was able to lay all of her faith in a horse she named Big Red. Big Red didn't win all of the races, but his owners still believed in him, and he was up for the challenge. Big Red went on to win the Kentucky Derby, Belmont, and Preakness Stakes. Yes, all 3 legs of the Kentucky Derby. We know Big Red as Secretariat, and the suburban housewife is his owner, Penny Chenery. Penny was met with an uphill battle between losing both of her parents and owning a quickly sinking thoroughbred farm. But she did not give up. She rose to the challenge and even made a name for herself and Big Red. Challenge changed Penny. Challenge brings change. When we are met with a challenge, it is important that we strive to overcome it. Fred DeVito said, if it doesn't challenge us, it won't change us. Taking on a challenge that seems too substantial to overcome is how we grow as people and as leaders. I encourage you to take on the challenge and make a difference. As FFA members, it is our duty to become the best people we possibly can. Challenge brings change. I want to help you through every challenge this next year. My name is Tessa Sargent, and it would be an honor to serve as your 2020-2021 State FFA President. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Morgan Jones.
Have you been there? You know what I'm talking about. For me, it all happened. I was sitting at the top of my favorite slide at the park, just minding my own business, when out of nowhere, I heard it. Instantly, my 10-year-old self knew what it was. Buzz, buzz. There was a huge bee, and I was terrified. Now, I'm sure you can guess what happened next. That's right, I got stung. And boy, was I mad. But I did what any other normal human would after getting stung by a bee, and I decided to befriend them by becoming a beekeeper. Hashtag save the bees. Now, if you do not get the buzz about beekeeping, let me fill you in. First off, there are worker bees who work behind the scenes. Second, there are drones who are always there to encourage the other bees. And lastly, there's the queen bee who essentially leads the whole hive. Now, FFA is not much different. Just like there are worker bees in the hive, there are FFA members working to carry on our traditions and define their success, no matter how hard they have to work for it. Take our state degree, proficiency, and other award winners, for example. They have all put in the long hours inside and outside of the classroom to define their success. Next, Just like there are drones in the hive, there are our advisors and our supporters who are always there to inspire and encourage us to reach our full potential, much like they probably pushed you to be here as a delegate today. And finally, we have chapter, section, and state officer teams who live to serve others and strive to develop leaders and those around them, much like the queen bee. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the hive. Without a hive, the bees would have no home. But then, without the bees, the hive would have no purpose. Now, Illinois FFA is our hive and our home because of you, because of your determination, strength, passion, selflessness, and motivation. Our Illinois FFA hive is able to thrive. Illinois FFA, I have the determination of a worker bee, the encouragement of a drone, and the leadership qualities of a queen bee. Elect me, Morgan Jones, as your 2020-2021 state president to ensure continued success of our Illinois FFA hive. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Andrew Davis.
Growing up, I enjoyed spending my time with my family on the farm. This sparked my passion for agriculture. When I was 9 years old, I begged and begged my parents to let me get a horse, and they finally caved in. Now was the hard part, learning how to ride. Luckily, I have an awesome uncle who is a professional barrel racer and great neighbors who had ridden for years. Many nights were spent learning the ins and outs of riding. After those many nights of lessons, I decided I wanted to start showing and be a barrel racer just like my uncle. Within the next few weeks, I was on my way to my first horse show. I competed in Western pleasure classes and I had a blast. My uncle asked me later that day if I wanted to compete in a barrel race, and I politely said, no, not today. You see, I forgot to tell him one small thing. I was afraid of going fast on my horse. Now, you might be asking yourself, Andrew, how are you going to be a barrel racer if you're afraid to go fast on your horse? Eventually, I told him this fear and he helped me overcome it, but it didn't happen overnight. Some days I felt like not getting back on after being bucked off or simply just giving up. It was 2 years later when I decided to compete at my first barrel race. I heard the words, next up, Andrew Davis. My heart was beating so fast. I went into the arena, made my turn around the first barrel, ran across the ring to the second, rounded the third, and I was on my way home. I just did it. I hear Andrew's time was 28.837 seconds. For those of you not familiar with barrel racing, this is not a very good time to have. At the end of the day, I had not won, but I faced my biggest fear, which was a success for me. Zig Ziglar says fear has two definitions: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. As determined as I was to be a barrel racer, I chose to face everything and rise. My commitment, hard work, and determination helped me overcome my fear. So far this year, many challenges have arisen, opportunities were taken away, and spirits have fallen. But what can we learn from our fear of these unprecedented times? How can we face everything and rise? If the plan doesn't work, change the plan, never the goal. State officers spend a great deal of time advocating for the well over 19,000 Illinois FFA members, ag education, and our great organization. If elected today, I choose to face everything and rise by envisioning even more great members, additional opportunities, and a stronger organization. So elect me, Andrew Davis, as your 2020-2021 Illinois FFA State President, and I choose to face everything and rise. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Emma Coons.
Emma Claire, put your laundry in your room. Growing up, I knew if I left any clothes in the dryer or the laundry room for too long, these words would echo down the hallway to my room. On the other side of these words was my mom. Not only am I able to depend on my mom to let me know when I haven't put my laundry away, I know I can depend on her for reassurance and encouragement. Just as I can predict my mom's reply to my clothes not being put away, I know I can predict her reaction to the question, "What is your biggest accomplishment?" The answer she would give was successfully raising 4 independent children. She would probably fail to mention her master's degree from Rush University, election to the Altamont School Board president position, or opening her own medical practice. Although my mom's personal accomplishments rivals all 4 of ours, she still values her family more. This is similar to how I see my positive influence on FFA members as my biggest accomplishment. Over the last few months, I have felt frustrated, sad, and overwhelmed due to an unusual end to my school year, just like many of yours. But no matter the situation, I knew my mom was one call away. She's always there to offer a smile, a helping hand, and positive leadership. She will always cheer me on or cheer me up. From T-ball and Little League to the Illinois FFA State Job Interview Contest, I knew my biggest cheerleader would back me. Similarly, from a canceled graduation ceremony to something as small as a bruised knee, she was always there to offer a smile, a hug, and maybe even some chocolate soft serve ice cream with sprinkles. Because of my mom's dedication to her family and pride in her children, I believe my mom, as well as many of yours, truly embodies the saying, servant leadership. I aspire to serve you, Illinois FFA, as a servant leader, just like our moms do for us. Over the next few months, we are going to continue to encounter new and challenging times. But just as our great organization has weathered storms for over the almost last 100 years, we will continue to persevere through these uncharted territories. And I aspire to follow in my mom's footsteps for my FFA family. To be there when you win, lose, or fall somewhere in between. To offer a smile, a helping hand, and positive leadership in any situation. But most importantly, I aspire to always put my FFA family first. Illinois FFA, if elected to serve you this year, I will follow a mom's example. And if you're lucky, you might even get to see my mom-like dance moves. Illinois FFA, my name is MSC Coons, and I would appreciate your vote for Illinois FFA State President. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Katie Huff.
While we all might see something different wherever we are tonight, above us all is something bigger than ourselves, the sky. But it doesn't even stop there. The sky is not the limit. This past year, when I was attending National FFA Convention, I went into a room called the Blue Room, not knowing what to expect. The guest speaker that I heard in this room was a woman named Joya Massa. Joya works for NASA, and as part of her job, she oversees astronauts growing vegetables in outer space. Now, I don't know about you, but I bet that salad is out of this world. Joya spoke of the struggles and setbacks that she experienced while on this mission, as well as the triumph that she felt when they were finally able to grow romaine lettuce on the International Space Station. When asked about how NASA was finally able to grow plants in outer space, Joya said, "FFA members, the sky is not the limit." This quote resonated with me that day because I realized that if plants can be grown outside of Earth, then the sky truly is not the limit. Just like the sky is not the limit for NASA, the sky is not the limit for FFA members. When I first entered high school, I wasn't really sure where I would fit in. I assumed that I would continue playing sports and that my life would revolve around that, but as soon as I joined FFA, I felt like I belonged. I finally felt like I had real friends, like I was a part of something where I had the opportunity to make a difference. From meeting friends all over the state and nation to traveling all the way to Washington, D.C., this organization showed me that there truly is no limit to the things I can do. FFA members, the sky is not the limit to the achievements you can have through FFA. The sky is not the limit to the memories you can make, the friends you can meet, and the opportunities you can discover. The sky is not the limit to your possibilities within this organization. If elected as your state president, I will help you all use your passion for FFA to discover the endless possibilities within this organization and achieve goals that you never before thought were possible. Elect me, Katie Huff, as your state FFA president because the sky is not the limit to the ways that I will serve Illinois FFA. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Lexi Miller.
Four bases, 2 dugouts, a dirt diamond, and a scoreboard. Where are we? A softball field. Now, to many of you in the audience, I'm sure this place is very familiar. But for me, it could not be more foreign. You see, I was a student athlete in high school. I even played on the boys' soccer team in my school. But I had never once in my life played softball until my senior year. I heard a couple of my friends talking at school one day, saying they may not have enough people for a team, they might have to forfeit the season. I felt so bad. They had worked so hard in preparing for a season, they may not get to play because one person didn't join the team. So I started to think about all the clubs and activities that consumed literally all of my time. There was no way whatsoever that I could add an entire sport to my schedule. So I found myself in my very first softball practice that Monday. I showed up in shorts, a t-shirt, and my soccer cleats. That's right, I had no clothing and no equipment for a sport that I had absolutely no time for. Despite my lack of experience and knowledge of the sport, I worked and practiced my hardest and even found myself being somewhat okay. I knew I was nowhere near the best on the team, but I wanted to give the girls a chance to play a sport that they loved. Despite how poor I felt that I wasn't the best, I knew if I gave up, I'd be letting down an entire group of girls. So instead of focusing on how much hand-eye coordination I lacked, I found myself running the bases over and over and over. I knew I would not be in the first round of girls up to bat, and I probably wouldn't play on the field during most of the games. But I was fast, and we only had one pitcher and one catcher. My purpose on the team was to run the bases for them so that they could rest and prepare for the next inning. I set aside my own selfish feelings for the betterment of my team. In the FFA, we will all experience unfamiliar situations when we need to step up for the greater good of our team. We may not be the best at one particular piece of the experience or of the challenge, but each and every one of us adds something to the experience and the solution as a whole. Illinois FFA, I, Lexi Miller, am ready to give my unique piece to each of you for the betterment of our organization as a whole. Thank you.
Our final candidate is Jordy Oliver.
Let's all visualize an Apple electronic product, whether that is your phone, a laptop, or even a car that can drive itself. Keep that image in the front of your mind. Now envision the vast corporation that is known as Apple, one of the largest, most successful technology corporations in today's society. But let's not worry about today's version of Apple. Let's all take a trip back in time to the crazy year of 1997. Now, there were a lot of iconic moments that occurred in the year of 1997, such as the release of the famous movie Titanic, or the first book of the Harry Potter series was published. But also in 1997, the Apple industry was nearly bankrupt. They had been struggling to keep up with their competitors for the past 12 years and were on the verge of closing their doors forever. But Apple was determined to keep fighting and to envision a brighter future. Apple joined forces with Microsoft, where a team was formed that promised to never give up. Now, if we fast forward to the year 2011, in just 14 years, Apple was on the brink of bankruptcy, but with the power of teamwork, dedication, and passion, they received the title of world's most valuable company and are known as the corporation we know and love today. Now, when I hear this inspiring story of teamwork and perseverance, it reminds me of a quote from the famous movie Rocky. Rocky Balboa shares that it's not about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. When I hear this statement, I realize that life is going to throw punches at each and every one of us, but we as individuals are not going to be knocked out and be down for the count. Together, we can and will come together, rise up, and fight to grow a greater tomorrow. Now, when we watch the news, there's no telling what new story is going to be shared in the year of 2020. But these new standards of life are not going to prevent each and every one of us from leaving our positive impact. Illinois FFA is not going to crumble under pressure. Together, we can and will continue to positively invest in others and grow within this great organization. Like Apple and Microsoft, individually we'll have different skills and points that affect our lives. But when we come together and wear these blue corduroy jackets, we become one. We become a family full of astonishing people with incredible qualities. A family full of people that will always stick together and can overcome any obstacles that we may face in life. Illinois FFA, it is time to show just how resilient we truly are. It is time to come together. It is time to fight through these challenges ahead. It is time to be inspiring. Illinois FFA, my name is Jordy Oliver, and it would be a great honor to lead through these challenges ahead, serving as your Illinois Association FFA State President.
It is now time to elect the 2020-2021 Illinois Association FFA State President. All delegates must remain in the Zoom room. Mr. Secretary, please remind us the number for a majority and 2/3 majority vote.
The delegate count is 394, a majority vote is 198, and a 2/3 majority is 263.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Please read the list of the qualified candidates for the office of State FFA President that have met the rules and policies established by the Illinois Association FFA as they appear on the ballot.
The qualified candidates for State FFA President as they appear on the ballot are Margaret Vossen, Avery Plody, Molly Shemp, Tessa Sargent, Morgan Jones, Andrew Davis, Emma Coons, Katie Huff, Lexi Miller, and Jordy Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. At this time, look at the names on the screen. To cast your vote, select the candidate of your choice at the bottom of your electronic device. You will see it's highlighted when selected. You're able to change your vote until the voting is closed. You will have 2 minutes to complete the voting process. "30 seconds remaining to cast your vote. As we elect the leaders of our future of our organization, it is important to recognize those individuals who have served for Illinois FFA in the past. These special individuals have provided successful leadership to Illinois FFA over the past 92 years. Throughout the election process, we will be recognizing these leaders of our past. These leaders of our past have laid the foundation for the future leaders of our organization. As a team, we felt that past state officers deserve recognition for all their achievements in their years of service. It is now time to return back to our main event today, our state officer elections. In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has not yet been reached for this office. We must continue to vote until a majority vote has been reached. After reviewing the votes, it is the chair's recommendation to keep the top 5 candidates and drop the bottom 5 candidates. The chair would now entertain a motion. Remember to type in your section number and your name and type your motion in the chat icon. The chair will refer to the Zoom room monitor for recognition. The chair has recognized the delegate from section 12 to keep the top 5 candidates and drop the bottom 5 candidates. Is there a second? It has been seconded by Emily Curry of section 14 to second that motion. It's been moved and seconded to drop the top 5 and cut the bottom 5 for state president. Seeing no debate, we shall proceed to vote. All in favor, please click yes on your clicker, and those opposed, please click no. Polling is now closed. Mr. Secretary, please read the names of the candidates we will be voting on for state FFA president.
The candidates you will be voting on for the office of state FFA president as they appear on the ballot are Margaret Bosson, Molly Shimp, Emma Coons, Lexi Miller, and Jordy Oliver.
To cast your vote, select the candidate of your choice at the bottom of your electronic device. You will see it highlighted when selected. You are able to change your vote until voting is closed. Just a reminder, you have 2 minutes to cast your vote. "30 seconds remaining to cast your vote for state FFA president. Polling is now closed, and we have about a 5-minute timer to restart. Welcome back, everyone. In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has not been yet reached for this office. We must continue to vote until a majority has been reached. After reviewing the votes, it is the chair's recommendation to keep the top 3 candidates and drop the bottom 2 candidates. The chair would now entertain a motion. Remember to type in your section number and your name and type your motion in the chat icon. The chair will refer to the Zoom room monitor for recognition. The chair has recognized Lauren Sachs from Section 13 to move to keep the top 3 candidates and drop the bottom 2. Thank you. Is there a second? The chair has recognized the delegate from Section 3, Joshua Sims, to second that motion. Thank you. It has been moved and seconded to keep the top 3 candidates and drop the bottom 2 for FFA State President. Is there any debate? If so, please type in the chat icon. Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. All those in favor of keeping the top 3 candidates and dropping the bottom 2, please click yes on your clicker. All opposed, click no. Voting has now been closed. Mr. Secretary, please read the names of the candidates we will be voting on for State FFA President.
The candidates you will be voting for the office of State FFA President as they appear on the ballot are Margaret Vossen, Molly Shimp, and Lexi Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Just like we said before, you have 2 minutes to continue this voting period. Please begin casting your votes to your electronic device. "30 seconds remaining to cast your vote for State FFA President. Polling is now closed. We will now have another 5-minute break to determine our cuts.
Howdy, Illinois FFA. Today we're going to head down to my home section of 23 to a little town called Olney. Now, not only do they have an amazing FFA chapter, but they have some pretty amazing little critters running around. Let's head down and hear from some of the Olney FFA members to find out more about these little critters.
Hello, my name is Jennifer, and I'm here to give you a little history on the white squirrel in Olney. So, a pair of white squirrels were first captured south of Sumner, Illinois, and then they were brought into the city of Olney and sold to a local saloon owner who held them on display in his saloon. Then Illinois passed a law saying that you could not hold wild animals in captivity, and they were released on Silver Street in Olney.
Hi, I'm Travis, and I'll be talking about why the Olney White Squirrel Census is so important. Like any census, the Olney White Squirrel population count allows us to get cold hard data to make our populations of white squirrels more successful and abundant in our community.
Hi, I'm Alec, and each year the Olney FFA chapter partners with the City of Olney and Olney Central College to put on a white squirrel census, which is where approximately 40 volunteers go throughout town and tally the number of white squirrels, gray squirrels, and hawk squirrels, and stray cats. And the tallies are taken to the community building, and the population is confirmed.
Hi, I'm Dane, and I'm with the Olney FFA chapter here with Morgan today. And the census is very important to our white squirrel populations because it helps provide data to make sure we can maintain the population. The white squirrels are very historical to Olney because they've been here for over 100 years. And it is also crucial for our tourism rates because white squirrels are very unique. In conclusion, the census is very important to helping maintain the white squirrel population.
Wow, it really doesn't get much cooler than that. Thank you so much to the Olney FFA members for producing this little short video on the history of the white squirrels, as well as the importance in the white squirrel census. You know, if squirrels take the census, why don't you? Be sure to fill out the 2020 census and even see how your chapter can be rewarded for your part in the census. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching. Be sure to fill out the census.
After reviewing the votes, we have decided that to drop the bottom candidate since there were only 3, so we will only be voting on our next 2 candidates. Mr. Secretary, will you please read the list of candidates eligible for State FFA President?
The candidates you'll be voting on for the office of State FFA President as they appear on the ballot are Molly Shimp and Lexi Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. To cast your vote, select the candidate of your choice at the bottom of your electronic device. You will see it when highlighted when selected, as we know. If you were to change your vote, you have approximately 2 minutes to do that. Thank you. "30 seconds remaining to cast your vote. Where's the bell? Where's the bell? In the Illinois Association of FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has been reached for this office. And now, the first moment we've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, your 2020-2021 Illinois Association of FFA State President is Lexi Miller!
Oh my gosh. Woo. I don't even know what to say. I'm shaking, like, if you can't see that. Oh my gosh. Well, to everybody backstage, I don't think they can hear me, but they're doing an amazing job. Their speeches were phenomenal. Whoever you pick is going to be wonderful. I'm still shaking. I'm not even going to grab the podium because, like, I can't control my hands. I want to thank all of you guys. You guys are amazing. Brody's over here crying. Don't do that. I want to thank Reed and Maddie who came with me today. Mr. Edgar and Miss B, I love you guys so much. My teammates who aren't here today from our past year of 30, my parents, everybody, my family, my mentor Susie. Two people I want to mention, and I'm gonna lose it here soon, is two people in heaven. Mr. Curry, first of all, have his bracelet on. He made an impact on so many people. And also my grandpa, I wish he could be here today, but I know he's watching from above, so I just want to thank all of you delegates too. This is a wonderful opportunity. I'm still shaking. I don't know how much longer I can stand, but they're laughing. But like back here, Brody's watching my legs like wobble. I just want to thank everybody. Also, we got Gabe here working the camera. You're doing a wonderful job. We got everybody backstage. I'm telling you guys, this is crazy. Like this is not a normal convention. I'm losing it. So I just want to thank everybody. I love you all, and I didn't even cry. So like, we're killing it. Thank you guys so much. Again, my teammates backstage, my teammates who aren't here today, wouldn't be the person that I am today without you. My ag advisor, Mr. Miller, my entire family. I love you guys so much. Thank you.
Welcome back. May I remind you that all candidates for the office of president will be automatically nominated for vice president and the succeeding offices unless specified otherwise. Mr. Secretary, please read the list of qualified candidates for the office of vice president.
The qualified candidates for the opportunity to give a 1-minute remarks for vice president are Margaret Vossen, Avery Plody, Molly Shimp, Tessa Sargent, Morgan Jones, Andrew Davis, Emma Coons, Katie Huff, and Jordy Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Candidates will have an opportunity to give 1-minute remarks for vice president. Our first candidate is Margaret Vossen.
Picture this, a 5-foot-tall, crazy sock-wearing, Holstein-loving woman with a mocha in her hand. I have just described to you my Grandma Carol, and I strive to be exactly like her for every member in the FFA. It may sound crazy, but hold tight for just 1 minute. Not only do all these things describe her, but what I failed to mention was her excellent work ethic, her constant support for all her grandchildren, and her love for the FFA. My grandma always wanted to be an FFA member. But when she was in high school, girls weren't allowed. Luckily, these past 4 years, she has been able to live through me. She has been a constant support and encouragement in all my years in the FFA. Every time I walk in the room, she makes me feel important. So elect me so I can be your Grandma Carol. Thank you.
Our next candidate for Vice President is Avery Plody.
It was a hot morning in the clearly not air-conditioned Leland High School when Principal Bickle showed all of the students a video entitled "The First Follower." The video shows a man flailing his arms on a hillside, literally dancing like he just don't care, and seemingly having a great time doing it. While dancing by himself, people looked on in confusion. But soon, someone else joined in, flailing his arms around too. A person can't be a leader with no one to lead, but with a first follower, they're a team. They're a movement. Soon, more and more people started joining in until the whole hillside was full of people doing this strange dance and having an absolute blast. Illinois FFA, it would be an honor if you elected me, Avery Plody, as Vice President, the first follower, to help create an amazing team and movement that will do way more amazing things than just flailing arms. We'll make a positive difference together. Thank you.
Our next candidate for Vice President is Molly Shemp.
My favorite memory with my brother growing up was at Grandma and Grandpa's house climbing trees. Our favorite tree to climb had the branches structured so perfectly that you could spiral your way clear to the top, pop your head out, and see for miles. We learned a lot of advice from climbing trees for years. Stand tall and proud. Go out on a limb. Drink plenty of water. Remember your roots. And when you reach the top, enjoy the view. Illinois FFA, my name is Molly Shemp. Elect me as your state vice president, and I will be the branch supporting your climb to success.
Our next candidate for Vice President is Tessa Sargent.
Electricity is the flow of electrons from one place to another. Throughout my time in high school, I took great pride in my electrical technology SAE. One of the most important things that I learned was in order for a light to turn on, you need a spark. Thomas Edison, inventor of the light bulb, was one of the first inventors to use the process of teamwork in production. Edison said, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is to try just one more time." As a state officer, I promise to continue Edison's legacy of teamwork and to try just one more time. We may not be inventing the light bulb like Edison, but we can continue to shine our light throughout Illinois FFA. My name is Tessa Sargent, and I'm excited to ignite a spark throughout Illinois FFA members as your 2020-2021 State FFA Vice President. Thank you.
Our next candidate for Vice President is Morgan Jones.
Take a moment and think about your favorite book. What makes it your favorite? Is it the cover? Is it the beginning? Is it the end? Well, when I think of my favorite book, I think of the chapters because they are what give the story meaning. Now, I know we are talking about chapters in books, but my favorite chapters are actually the ones in Illinois FFA. Each chapter and its members bring meaning to our organization. It is because of their various perspectives, their opportunities, and their experience that they are able to achieve great success. Now, just like chapters in a book come together to tell one unified story, when we come together as Illinois FFA chapters, we can tell the unique story of Illinois FFA and what we stand for. As your state vice president, I promise to help you write your next chapters because I know together we can write the best Illinois FFA story yet. My name is Morgan Jones, and elect me as your 2020-20.
Our next candidate for state vice president is Andrew Davis.
I remember back to my freshman year of high school, sitting in my intro to ag class when I heard my advisor say I had to memorize all 5 paragraphs of the creed. I sat and thought to myself, there is no way I can remember all of that. He told us it wouldn't be easy, but we could do it. After weeks of working on memorizing it, I finally had it down. But just as I thought that challenge was over, he asked me to compete at the Creed Speaking LDE. A few weeks later, he asked me to recite the Creed at our chapter banquet, and I remember not being nervous at all. I learned one thing through this experience. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. As this year progresses in unprecedented ways, I vow as a state officer to let challenges change me to better serve the members of our organization. So elect me, Andrew Davis, as your state vice president. Thank you.
Our next candidate for state vice president is Emma Coons.
Picture this. You're standing on a ledge 100 times your height up in the air. You're expected to jump off and soar through the air. Sounds crazy, right? It probably sounds even crazier to a baby bird who's in this position for the first time. But time and time again, birds jump off that ledge, spread their wings, and soar through the air. While this may seem crazy, if we change our perspective and know that we are just one of a million generations of birds who've done the exact same thing, it may not seem crazy at all. In fact, it may not seem crazy enough. As FFA members, we come from generations of dedicated individuals who continue to aspire higher. Illinois FFA, if you elect me, Emma C. Coons, to serve as your state vice president, I will prove to you to stop asking if your dreams are crazy and start asking if they're crazy enough. Thank you.
Our next candidate for state vice president is Katie Huff.
People will often tell you to avoid strangers, but I believe that a stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet. From the man at a St. Louis gas station who told me he loved me, to the chancellor of SIUC that offered me a scholarship in a Popeyes restaurant, I have met many strangers that have left an impact on me, though one stands out above the rest. While I was at a Guitar Center store, I heard a woman singing better than anyone I had ever heard. I complimented her singing and said that I wished I could sing as well as she did. She smiled at me and she said, everyone can sing. They just need to find the right song. FFA members, whatever your song may be, whether it be agriculture, music, sports, or something in between, this organization will point you in the right direction to finding those songs. Elect me, Katie Huff, as your state FFA vice president, and I will help you all find your right songs. Thank you.
Our final candidate for state vice president is Jordy Oliver.
Fear is a natural emotion that everyone is going to experience at some point in our lives. For some people, fear may include speaking in front of large crowds. For numerous people, including myself, when we hear the word fear, we relate that emotion to creatures such as snakes and spiders. But when we really assess the word fear, it has a much deeper meaning than we may perceive. Fear has two meanings. We can either forget everything and run, or we can face everything and rise. Each and every one of us are going to look fear in the eyes and elevate our impact. We can and will come together, rise up, and live fearlessly. LFFA, my name is Jordy Oliver, and it'd be a great privilege to serve fearlessly as your state FFA Vice President.
Thank you to all candidates. Mr. Secretary, Do you have the number of delegates and the number of needed for a majority vote?
There are 394 delegates, a majority vote is 198, and a 2/3 vote is 263.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We will now begin voting. To cast your vote, select the candidate of your choice at the bottom of your electronic device. You will see it highlighted when selected. You're able to change your vote until the voting is closed. Just a reminder, you have 2 minutes to cast your vote. Cast your vote for the office of State Vice President. Again, a reminder, we have 30 seconds to cast our vote. We're now going to recognize the group responsible for helping direct the work of our organization. The FFA Board of Directors sets policy for Illinois FFA. They envision what our organization can be and makes decisions that ensure our organization provides our members with the best experience and leave a lasting impact. This board is made up of student and adult directors from each district, along with the 5 major state officers, the state coordinator, a facilitating coordination agriculture education representative, and a university representative. Let's take a moment to view a brief presentation thanking those individuals.
We would like to thank the following individuals for their service on the Illinois FFA Board of Directors. District 1 Director, Trent Tabor. Retiring District 2 Director, Jeff Meyerhofer. District 3 Director, Wyatt McGrew. Retiring District 4 Director, Jacqueline Meisner. District 5 Director, Tim McDermott. FCAE Representative, Dean Ditmar. University Representative, Dr. Deborah Cordy. Retiring District 1 Student Director, Margaret Vossen. Retiring District 2 Student Director, Avery Plody. Retiring District 3 Student Director, Lauren Sachs. Retiring District 4 Student Director, Morgan Jones. Retiring District 5 Student Director, Jordy Oliver. Retiring State President, Gage Miller. Retiring State Vice President, Lane Harvey. Retiring State Reporter, Brody McCormick. Retiring State Secretary, Colin E. White. Retiring State Treasurer, Emma Freebaron.
In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has not yet been reached for this office. We must continue to vote until a majority vote has been reached. After reviewing the votes, it is the chair's recommendation to keep the top 4 candidates and drop the bottom 5 candidates. The chair will now entertain a motion. Remember to type in your section number and your name and type your motion in the chat icon. The chair will refer to the Zoom room monitor for recognition. The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 6, Allie Drake, to keep the top 4 candidates and drop the bottom 5. Is there a second? Please text me in the chat icon in Zoom, please. Lauren Sachs from Section 13 has seconded that motion. Thank you. It has been moved and seconded to keep the top 4 candidates and drop the bottom 5 candidates for the office of State FFA Vice President. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. All in favor of keeping the top 4 candidates and dropping the bottom 5, please click yes. Those opposed, please click no. Voting has now been closed. The motion has been approved and it carries. Mr. Secretary, will you please read the names listed for the office of State Vice President?
The candidates you will be voting on for the office of State FFA Vice President as they appear on the ballot are Margaret Vossen, Molly Shimp, Emma Coons, and Jordy Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Let's go ahead and begin casting our votes to the screen. Remember, we have a 2-minute timeline. "30 seconds remaining to cast your vote. Polling is now closed. We will now be taking a moment to recognize our Illinois Foundation FFA. The Illinois Association FFA major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has not yet been reached for this office. We must continue to vote until a majority vote has been reached. After reviewing the votes, it is the chair's recommendation to keep the top 2 candidates and drop the bottom 2 candidates. The chair will now entertain a motion. Remember to type in your section number and your name and type your motion in the chat icon. The chair will refer to Zoom room monitor for recognition, and I apologize for delays. Technology is not my thing. The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 4, Eliza Lillman, to move to keep the top 2 candidates and drop the bottom 2. Is there a second? The chair recognizes the individual from Section 5, Brad Weber, to second that motion. Thank you very much. It has been moved and seconded to keep the top 2 individuals and drop the bottom 2 individuals for the candidate of State FFA Vice President. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. All in favor to keep the top 2 candidates and drop the bottom 2 candidates for State Vice President, please click yes. Those opposed, please click no on the screen. 'The yes have it and the motion carries. Mr. Secretary, please read the names of the candidates we'll be voting on for State FFA Vice President.
The candidates that you'll be voting on for State FFA Vice President as they appear on the ballot are Margaret Vossen and Molly Shemp.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Let's go ahead and vote on our screens. Just a reminder, we have 2 minutes to cast our votes. "30 seconds remaining to cast your vote. Voting is now closed.
In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by majority vote, and a majority vote for this office has been reached. Now, the second moment you all have been waiting for. Your 2020-2021 Illinois Association FFA State Vice President is Molly Shemp!
Thank you, Illinois FFA. I cannot wait to spend the next year serving and leading you as we go into this new year. Thank you to my family, my brother, my parents, and everybody watching at home. I cannot wait to come home and celebrate with my chapter and Section 9. Thank you so much, Illinois FFA.
Please read the names of the qualified candidates for the office of State FFA Reporter.
The names of the qualified candidates as they appear on the ballot are Margaret Vossen, Avery Plody, Tessa Sargent, Morgan Jones, Andrew Davis, Emma Coons, Katie Huff, and Jordy Oliver.
Please welcome each candidate to the stage as they give their remarks for the office of State FFA Reporter. Our first candidate is Margaret Vossen.
There's no pretty way to run cross country or track. Believe me, I've tried. Somehow, in every race I run, a newspaper reporter always captures my running face, and it's not pretty. I either look like this or something like this. And it always ends up on the front page of the newspaper the next day, captioned in bold letters, Margaret Vossen, Amboy. So there's no escaping that face. As someone who knows the embarrassment of a bad photo, I promise if you elect me, Margaret Vossen, as your Illinois FFA state reporter, I will always capture your good side. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Avery Plody. I would like to apologize. That was technical difficulties on our part. I would like to reintroduce this candidate, Avery Plody.
Ignition, liftoff of Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. America has launched. As a space fan and just as an American, these words were so exhilarating to me when they were spoken just 12 days ago for the crew launch to the International Space Station. Astronauts risk their lives to further society's understanding of complex and unknown things. They train for years to fulfill their chosen duty. Then they fulfill that duty and come back to Earth to report what they've learned for all to see. They're heroes for what they do, but they keep humility through all of their experiences. I aspire to be like an astronaut, to work my hardest to fulfill my own chosen duty, serving all of you and showing the world the amazing accomplishments of the members of this organization. Elect me, Avery Plody, as State FFA reporter, and I'll show the whole world the sky-high success of Illinois FFA. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Tessa Sargent.
All of our our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. We all know Walt Disney for his last name or creation of Disneyland, which I love. But what we don't know about the man behind the magic is truly what sets him apart. It is said that he failed over 300 times before his creation of the Mickey Mouse. We've all failed a test or two or not gotten the officer position that we wanted, but just imagine what life would be like if Disney had given up anywhere between his second and 299th rejection. As we turn the page on our FFA story, let's follow Walt's lead and remember to get back up after every time we fall. My name is Tessa Sargent. Allow me to keep the FFA magic alive as your 2020-2021 State FFA reporter. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Morgan Jones.
Envision this. You're at National Convention watching the Hypnotist show, and out of nowhere, you see this random girl stand up and start singing God Bless the USA at the top of her lungs. Now, let me tell you something. That girl was me. And if you know me, I do not sing and I cannot sing. I even follow the philosophy, whenever the music is louder, my voice sounds better. Now, looking back on that moment, it was awkward. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only one who has had awkward moments. I'm sure you've had awkward moments too, from saying you too to someone after they tell you happy birthday, to pushing a door that says pull, to waving at someone who actually wasn't waving at you. Life can be awkward. As your state reporter, I would promise to be there to capture the unforgettable, the amazing, and even the awkward moments. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Andrew Davis.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. Everyone has probably heard this famous saying before, and I think there's a lot of truth in it. Photography is one of my hobbies. I love capturing some of the coolest things like pretty scenery and sunsets. But when I envision the perfect picture, it consists of growing numbers of FFA members serving others, the premier leadership in our organization, and a stronger agriculture industry. So elect me, Andrew Davis, as your 2020-2021 Illinois FFA State Reporter, and I promise every man, woman, and child will know how great our association is. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Emma Coons.
Picture me at my freshman year LTS, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Although I didn't know many people yet, I knew plenty. So when I slipped on the slick shop floor with a plate full of pizza and a cookie in my mouth, it seemed like everyone noticed. Some of the section officers I knew insisted I could not eat my pizza that had fallen on the floor. So I moped over the trash can and threw away my pizza with my last shred of dignity. Later that night, many people came up to me and asked me if I was okay. This sparked conversations and made me many new friends. That night, I learned every moment we have in the FFA is valuable. I promise, as your state reporter, I will ensure that we appreciate every moment we have in this blue jacket. My name is Emma C. Coons, and I would appreciate your vote for Illinois FFA State Reporter. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Katie Huff.
Our parents often ask us, if your friends jumped off a cliff, would you? But I never thought my answer to this question would be yes. My friends decided to go to Bell Smith in Southern Illinois, where we would go cliff jumping. I could see the nearly 50-foot-tall cliffs rising ahead of me as we reached our destination. After climbing up the slippery rocks, I looked down over the edge of the cliff and realized that the longer I waited, the more likely I was to change my mind. So with no hesitation, I said, whoop, splash. That day, I realized that in order to be truly brave and confident, you need to take risks. You need to overcome the uncertainty of how things will end, because the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. If given the opportunity to serve you this next year, I will help you all take risks to realize your full potential. Elect me, Katie Huff, and I will dive headfirst into helping you all make a splash in your lives. Thank you.
Our final candidate is Jordy Oliver.
When we log on to social media, some of the first items that pop up will be hilarious videos or the newest dances on TikTok, or the breaking news that Outer Banks has just been released on Netflix. Now, these new hypes are going to be in the spotlight for a few weeks or even a month, but 10 years down the road, these memories may fade. But the hype that is known as Illinois FFA is timeless. Each and every one of us are leaving a positive impact that is inspiring others today and for generations to come. It would be such an honor to report on the amazing impact this organization has on so many lives. Illinois FFA, it is time to come together, share our stories, and truly become timeless. My name is Jordy Oliver, and it'd be a great honor to report as your Illinois FFA State Reporter.
Let's give our candidates a round of applause through the screen. Mr. Secretary, would you please read the number of delegates and votes required to reach majority?
There are 394 delegates present, and a majority is 198.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. To cast your vote, select the candidate of your choice at the bottom of your electronic device. You will see it highlighted when selected. You are able to change your vote until the voting is closed. Just a reminder, the voting period is 2 minutes. Just a reminder to all delegates, we have 30 seconds remaining to cast our vote. Polling is now closed. We're going to recognize the individuals who have helped choose the 10 candidates we have today for major state office. On Saturday, May 9th, those desiring to run for major state office went through the selection process. This process included a general interview, a prepared speech, facilitation scenario, impromptu scenario, test, letter writing, and a group activity. The selection committee is made up of FFA board members, industry leaders, FFA members, teachers, past state officers, and college or university representatives. As the 2020 selection committee was completed in a virtual format, please take a moment to view a brief presentation thanking those individuals.
We would like to thank the following individuals for serving as judges on the 2020 selection committee. Judges in the general interview room were Jeff Meyerhofer from Seneca, Juliana Allen from AC Central, Trent Uphoff from John Deere, Kyle Bird from Princeville, Felicity Schaefer from Fisher, Dr. Penny Haas Whitler from Illinois College, Cody Morris from Chanel Seed Bear Crop Sciences.
Judges in the group activity room were Jacqueline Meisner from Blue Ridge, Shane Bennett from Southern Illinois University Carbondale, Adam Loker from Wayne City, Elena Alleman from United, Rod Stahl from Farm Credit Illinois, Lily Hogan from Triopia, Holly Spangler from Prairie Farmer.
Judges in the impromptu scenario room were Brett Wilson from Redbud, Dave Shiley from Richland Community College, Lydia Phelps from Marion, Gail Cunningham from WYXY Classic Illini Radio Group, Andrew Millard from Marengo, Megan Heineck from Warren, Amy Lehman from the University of Illinois.
Judges in the facilitation room were Wyatt McGrew, Macomb, Emily Lesko from Naperville North, Isabel Norris from Taylorville, Willow Klein from Warrensburg Latham, Christopher Smith from Edwardsville, Steve Bridge, Farm Broadcaster, WFMB, Luke Allen, FK District 2 Program Advisor.
Judges in the prepared speech room were Lisa Ulrich from Scales Mound, Shelby Basham from Clifton Central, Jordan Swinford from Pope County, Luke Adams from Athens, Jared Brown from Brant, Dr. Andy Baker from Western Illinois University, Noreen Free, a past state officer.
We want to give a big thank you to all of those who helped participate in the selection committee process. If you are a delegate or are tuning in today and you are interested in serving on the State Officer Selection Committee, the applications are available in January on the Illinois FFA website. Ask your advisor for information or ask one of these individuals that were, no, they're not on stage with us today. Forgot to delete that part, sorry. In the Illinois Association of FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has not yet been reached for this office. We must continue to vote until a majority vote has been reached. After reviewing the votes, it is the chair's recommendation to keep the top 3 candidates and drop the bottom 5 candidates. The chair will now entertain a motion. Remember to type in your section number and your name and type your motion in the chat icon. The chair will refer to the Zoom room monitor for recognition. The chair has recognized the delegate from section 14 to keep the top 3 candidates and drop the bottom 5 candidates. Thank you, Emily Curry. Is there a second? The chair has recognized the delegate from section 10, Kennedy Edelman. Thank you for the second on that motion. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote to keep the top 3 candidates and drop the 5 candidates for the office of State FFA Reporter. Let's go ahead and cast our votes to the screen. The motion carries. Mr. Secretary, please read the names that we will be voting on for State FFA Reporter.
The candidates you'll be voting on for the office of State FFA Reporter in the order they are listed on the ballot are Margaret Vossen, Emma Coons, and Jordy Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Just a reminder, to cast your vote, select the candidate of your choice at the bottom of your electronic device. You will see it highlighted when selected. You are able to change your vote until the voting is closed. Again, 2 minutes to cast your vote. "30 seconds remaining to cast your vote. Polling is now closed. Now, if you've been on social media, I can probably guarantee you've heard about the 2020 census. Let's go ahead and cast our attention to the screens to watch this promotional video.
Attention viewers, this is a very important announcement. Every 10 years, the census records everyone living in this country.
The data collected through the census determines how billions of dollars in federal funding are distributed back into our state and your community.
These dollars go towards funding our healthcare, our schools, our construction planning, and so much more.
It is also mandated by the U.S. Constitution. And speaking of government, the results also help determine how many seats each state gets in Congress.
We are asking you, the friends of Illinois FFA, to do your part. If your chapter helps in promoting the census, you will be rewarded for your help. Through a partnership with the Illinois Department of Agriculture, Illinois FFA will provide free registration to all chapters who help partake in promoting the census.
There are many different ways that you can ensure that everyone fills out the census. And one of those ways is by starting your chapter's own census campaign on social media.
Or you can call people in your community and offer to help them fill out the census over the phone.
Rural communities are the hardest people to receive participation from. So get creative with your ideas and work with us to make sure that the census is completed by everyone.
For the next month, join Illinois FFA in promoting the 2020 census because you count.
You count.
You count.
You count.
Everyone counts.
After reviewing the voting, we have been now cut the bottom candidate to now vote on our top two. Mr. Secretary, please read the list of names that we'll be voting on for State FFA Reporter.
The candidates you will be voting on for the office of State FFA Reporter as they appear on the ballot are Margaret Vossen and Jordy Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Let's go ahead and begin casting our votes to our screen provided. Just a reminder, we have 2 minutes to complete our voting. 30 seconds remaining. Voting is now closed.
In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has been reached for this office. And now, the third moment that we have all been waiting for. Your 2020-2021 Illinois Association FFA state reporter is Margaret Vossen!
Thank you so much, Illinois FFA. Oh my gosh, I have so many people to thank. I want to thank my parents and my runner, my sister Rebecca, and all my sisters and my family that's tuning in to watch. I need to thank my best friend Avery Shaw and my best friend Allison Rourke and her dad Kurt. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. I need to shout out to Shelly and Stan Coons. You guys are my people. I love you guys so much. I'm so excited to serve you guys. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Candidates for the office of State FFA Secretary.
The names of the qualified candidates as they appear on the ballot are Avery Plody, Tessa Sargent, Morgan Jones, Andrew Davis, Emma Coons, Katie Huff, and Jordy Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. The candidates for the office of State FFA Secretary will come to the stage for their 1-minute remarks. Our first candidate is Avery Plody.
I believe in you. These 4 words can make such a big difference in someone's life. I know because I probably wouldn't be standing here speaking to you unless I had someone who believed in me. Abraham Lincoln once said, "I'm a success today because I had someone who believed in me and just didn't have the heart to let him down." In many ways, I couldn't agree more. Often in life, we get about this close to taking the next step in our journey through life, but back out as the who, what, when, where, whys, and hows start protruding into our thoughts. However, the people that believe in us can encourage us to take our leap of faith into doing what we know we want and need to do. I can be that person that believes in others to encourage them to go after their goals and achieve them. Illinois FFA, let's chase our goals and take the next step together. Vote Avery Plody for Secretary. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Tessa Sargent.
"75 older brothers and sisters. Growing up as an FFA advisor's daughter meant growing up with his students practically being like my older siblings. I was there for nearly every chapter event, conference, trap shoot, and even state FFA convention. I was there for all the post-win celebrations and the "we were so close" bus rides home. I'm not sure if they ever noticed how closely I watched their adventures and journeys in FFA, but they were my family. Illinois FFA, you are my family, all 20,761 of you. My name is Tessa Sargent, and it would be a joy to cheer you on in all of your celebrations and be the person in your corner when you need it most. As your 2020-2021 State FFA Secretary, thank you.
Our next candidate is Morgan Jones.
All right, Illinois FFA, grab a pen and a piece of paper and think of your biggest fear. Is it public speaking? Is it what others think? Is it not being good enough? Is it bees? Whatever it is, take a moment and write it on your piece of paper. All right, once you have your fear written on your piece of paper, take that paper and crumble it up and throw it away. Now, would you look at that? You just made your fear disappear. Now, I am definitely not a magician, but if you were to elect me as your state secretary, I would make it my mission to help you break barriers and reach new heights inside and outside of the Blue Jacket, just like magic.
Our next candidate is Andrew Davis.
I don't know about you, but I love aimlessly driving around the back roads, jamming in the car with my friends. Normally in my friend group, I'm the driver. I want you all to envision driving down a twisty and turny road with an occasional bump. This road is comparable to our journey of life. The opportunity presents itself to change to the open lane, and like every good driver, we must check our mirrors for safety. Everyone check your right mirror, now your left, the rear view, and now look out the windshield. Notice how the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror? Our past does not define our future. Now that we are all looking in the right direction, I hope you will elect me, Andrew Davis, as your 2020-2021 Illinois FFA State Secretary, and I vow to go the extra mile. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Emma Kuntz.
Have you ever walked through the grocery store and smiled at someone? From a 2-year-old little girl to a 95-year-old man, most likely your smile will be returned. Our smiles allow us to welcome others and connect with them even if it's only for a moment. As leaders, we strive to be inclusive and connect with those who we lead. As your state secretary, I promise to always welcome you with a smile and connect with those who I lead. Illinois FFA, my name is Emma C. Coons, and I would appreciate your vote for Illinois FFA State Secretary. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Katie Huff.
My favorite part about coming home after a long day is seeing my dog, Bentley. As soon as he sees me, he starts jumping up and down and spinning in circles. There is nothing like walking in the door to see a smiling face and a wagging tail that makes all of my problems melt away. People often say that dogs are man's best friend, and I would have to agree. Dogs show humans unconditional loyalty and compassion. They help turn our frowns upside down and serve as the best friends by our side for every high and every low. Just like our loyal companions, I will spend my next year being unconditionally dependable and compassionate so that I can be there for the members of Illinois FFA. Elect me, Katie Huff, as your state FFA secretary because when life is rough, you can always count on Katie Huff. Thank you.
Our final candidate is Jordy Oliver.
On May 30th, 2020, the United States made history. We launched the first ever American astronauts into space in over 9 years. The corporation known as SpaceX and NASA came together, worked diligently, and made history. Illinois FFA, by being a part of this outstanding organization, each and every one of us are writing history. We are writing history today by taking part in the first ever LNFFA virtual officer elections. But this is not the end of our legacies. Each and every one of us are going to continue to be resilient and to write history. LNFFA, my name is Jordy Oliver, and it'd be a great honor to stand beside each and every member as we make history, as I serve as your LNFFA State Secretary.
Let's give a round of applause for our candidates. Mr. Secretary, please read the number of delegates present and the number needed for a majority vote.
There are 394 delegates present and 198 for a majority.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. To cast your vote, select the candidate of your choice at the bottom of your electronic device. You will see it highlighted when selected. You are able to change your vote until the voting is closed. Just another reminder, you have 2 minutes to cast your vote. "30 seconds remaining to cast your vote. Polling is now closed. It's now time to watch me answer some of my favorite questions that I received for a Q&A this past year. Let's go ahead and check it out. Hello everyone, and it's now time for Q&As. You probably heard a lot about this on social media, and I'm going to be kicking us off by answering 5 of my favorite questions that I received on the Google form. So let's go ahead and get started. Question number 1, what's your SAE? So I actually had 2 SAEs. I had a book in wildlife production and management, and then environmental sciences and natural resources. So with my wildlife book, pretty self-explanatory. I raised 75 pheasants, and then I released them into the wild to try to bring back that struggling population, as well as just manage my piece of property back home. That consisted of conservation reserve program, just raising prairie grasses, establishing food plots and hinge cuts, and managing my family's pond. So something that I absolutely love, and it was something I'm very, very passionate about. And then with my environmental science and natural resources, it was pretty much the same thing with the CRP, but more on the earth side. And on top of that, we did a community oil drive. So we collected our community's used oil, and then we recycled that because oil actually can be recycled. It's just dirty when it's used. So that was really cool, and those were my SAEs. Question number 2, what is a good way to get your chapter involved with CDEs? So from my personal experience from my home chapter, a good way we got everyone involved in our CDEs was we would actually print off a sign-up sheet for our CDEs, and we would put it in the window in our classroom, and then we would hope for people to sign up, put their name on the window, and try to get a team together. And then once we got our team together, then we would just practice once, maybe twice a week, and then we would go and compete. And then, whether we won or not, we still usually had a pretty good time doing it, and that's my best way of doing it, and that's my advice. Question number 3, how does Gage's hair look so fly? That's a little bit of a funny one. So I actually never did my hair freshman, sophomore year, most of junior year, until state awards day my junior year. My advisor said it was time for a change, and he said that we're gonna do my hair that morning, and I kind of just stuck after that, because as you can see in these pictures right here, that's pretty embarrassing. I really dread looking at these pictures from back in the day. But yeah, I don't know, I used some brushes, some good bedhead product, and yeah, that's what I do, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I have the best hair. I think Lane might have the best hair on the team, but that's my answer for that one. So question number 4 was, can we have a statewide camp? And my answer to that one is we already have a camp. It's called FFA Leadership Camp, and that is in July. And that was personally one of my favorite FFA experiences. Just roughing it, going out in the woods, sleeping in a cabin, and hanging out with some people that you've never met before. And then by the end of it, you're usually crying on the last day. So I definitely recommend that you look into that and try going to that, because that was an amazing experience. And FFA Leadership Camp. So question number 5 is a tough one. It's, what is your favorite FFA memory? And I kind of struggled with this one, but I think I'd have to give it to all of my experiences as a chapter officer on chapter officer retreat. We usually did a lot of fun things, whether it was paintballing with my chapter officers, or going canoeing down a really sketchy river, and my canoe actually tipped over after going down like a mini waterfall, so that was intense. And then we also rented out a cabin and did a lot of work in there. So I think I really enjoyed that, and those are probably some of my favorite FFA memories for sure. So that wraps up our Q&A. I appreciate all of the questions that we received, and I really enjoyed answering them. I will encourage you to keep filling out that Google form, because we have 4 more officers to go. Mr. Lane Harvey, your vice president, will be answering 5 of his favorite questions tomorrow. And to go along with tomorrow, you'll be seeing our daily news update. Be sure to catch that. We really enjoy doing those, and we hope you enjoy those as well. Also, we will have a live Kahoot getting shot at 1 o'clock, so be sure to tune in. I will be running that myself, and you have a lot of fun there. And that concludes everything. So we appreciate you tuning in, and we hope you are enjoying Operation Rising Sun.
Hope you enjoyed that one. In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has not yet been reached for this office. We must continue to vote until a majority vote has been reached. After reviewing the votes, it is the chair's recommendation to keep the top 2 candidates and drop the bottom 5 candidates. The chair will now entertain a motion. Remember to type in your section number and your name, and type your motion in the chat icon. The chair will refer to the Zoom room monitor for recognition. The chair has recognized the delegate from Section 1, Samantha Kimple, as she moves to accept the cuts proposed by the chair, which would be the top 2 and drop the bottom 5. Is there a second? The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 8 to second that. Thank you, Keeley. It has been moved and seconded to keep the top 2 and drop the bottom 5 candidates for the office of State FFA Secretary. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. All in favor of keeping the top 2 candidates and dropping the bottom 5 candidates for the office of State FFA Secretary, please click on yes. Those opposed, please click on the no. 30 seconds remaining to cast your vote. Polling is now closed. Mr. Secretary, please read the names of the candidates we'll be voting on for State FFA Secretary.
The candidates you will be voting on for the office of State FFA Secretary as they appear on the ballot are Emma Coons and Jordy Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Just a reminder, to cast your vote, select the candidate of your choice at the bottom of your electronic device. You will see it highlighted when selected. You're able to change your vote until the voting is closed. You have 2 minutes to cast your vote. "30 seconds remaining to cast your vote. Polling is now closed.
In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has been reached for this office. And now, the fourth moment that we have all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020-2021 Illinois FFA State Secretary is Jordy Oliver!
Oh, okay, I'm gonna try not to cry. Oh my gosh. I gotta breathe. Okay. Okay. Thank you to everybody that has inspired me to be where I am today. Thank you to Mr. West for being the best advisor ever. Thank you to my mom, to my dad, to my sister. Thank you to Sue Schaefer for helping me so much. Thank you for Kate for being the best mentor I could possibly have. I'm sure I forgot somebody, but whoever that is, thank you too. I'm so excited to serve as your state secretary. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. I love all the members. I'm excited for a fantastic year. Thank you.
Mr. Secretary, would you please read the list of names of the qualified candidates for the office of State FFA Treasurer?
The names of the qualified candidates as they appear on the ballot are Avery Plody, Tessa Sargent, Morgan Jones, Andrew Davis, Emma Coons, and Katie Huff.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. The candidates for the office of State FFA Treasurer will come to the stage for their 1-minute remarks. Our first candidate is Avery Plody.
You know, there's few things I like more than getting on my feet and moving to a beat. Some of you might even know me as the 60s party guy if you were at Illinois FFA Leadership Camp last summer. At camp, the section presidents and majors lead the campers in fun songs, dances, and skits for the daily dynamite. But there's few I like more or had more fun doing than the 60s party. While camp may be off for this year, I'm so excited for all the campers that will get to go there in the future. So I'm back there at camp, I'm watching the advisor enthusiastically do the dance, and then I came back a year later as section president and figured I'd have to do the dance just as well to get everyone hyped and excited for the day. Because who isn't amused after watching It's a 60s Party from a 60s movie? I'm Avery Plody, and it would be an honor if you put your best foot forward and elected me as Illinois FFA Treasurer. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Tessa Sargent.
Imagine this, you're a little 6th grader getting ready for your first ever track meet. You're all lined up for your event, the 100-meter hurdles. The gun goes off and you are soaring. You clear the first 3 hurdles perfectly until you get to the 4th hurdle, which was a completely different story. You clip your back foot, take out the hurdle along with your entire body. This little 6th grader was me. On my hands and knees on the asphalt track, disappointed in myself. I got back up and ran those last 6 hurdles as fast as I could. This meet didn't go exactly how I wanted to. But I even went on to run the 100-meter hurdles for the next 7 years and even got a little bit better. As your 2020-2021 State FFA Treasurer, I promise to pick you back up after every time you fall.
Our next candidate is Morgan Jones.
Believe. We have all heard this word so many times. It is in the FFA Creed 6 times, so it must be important. To me, to believe is to have faith in something and to be completely confident. Now we must ask ourselves what we believe in. I believe in building leaders and not followers. I believe in hard work and dedication. I believe in making everyone feel like a someone. I believe in all of the friendships, memories, experiences, and connections we can make in this organization. Illinois FFA, if you were to elect me as your state treasurer, I promise to always believe in you and to believe in saving the bees, of course. My name is Morgan Jones, and now I'm asking you to believe in me.
Our next candidate is Andrew Davis.
I hope I have shown you all the right signs, and they make perfect sense that I'm the positive change you can add to the team to serve the members of our organization, create memories you can save for a lifetime, and deposit greatness into the agriculture industry. I, Andrew Davis, would be honored to carefully and accurately serve as your 2020-2021 Illinois FFA State Treasurer. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Emma Coons.
When I was in the 4th grade, I smashed my foot. I don't mean I smashed my foot in the door. I mean I smashed my foot by lowering a steel hydraulic hog cart with multiple 280-pound finishing hogs on it. Of course, I was pretty laid up and even had to use a wheelchair for a while. But I was determined to play winter basketball. I diligently did everything the doctor told me to so I could heal as quickly as possible and make it back out on the court. As leaders, we need to stay dedicated and always keep our end goals in mind. I will stay dedicated and diligent to all of the goals of the Illinois Association FFA if elected to serve as your state treasurer this year. My name is Emma C. Coons, and I would appreciate your vote for Illinois FFA state treasurer. Thank you.
Our final candidate is Katie Huff.
What is one thing that Napoleon Dynamite, Harry Potter, and my ag teacher all have in common? They all wear glasses. I will never forget after-school trips when I was little with my brother Justin and my mom because Justin's prescription, yet again, needed to be increased. Not entirely understanding why Justin would have to read letters off the wall, I would always get very confused whenever he would miss letters. But being the helpful sister that I am, I would correct him whenever he made a mistake, which even the eye doctor couldn't see coming. "No, Justin, that's an E, not a G," I would yell across the examination room. Needless to say, they didn't need to give me an eye test to determine that I had perfect vision. While we might not all have 20/20 vision, I hope you can envision me, Katie Huff, as your state FFA treasurer, and I will help you focus on achieving your goals because that is how I roll. Thank you.
Let's give our candidates a round of applause. Mr. Secretary, would you please read the number of delegates present and the number required for a majority vote?
There are 394 delegates present, and 198 is needed for a majority.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Again, to cast your vote, select the candidate of your choice at the bottom of your electronic device. You will see it highlighted when selected. You are able to change your vote until the voting is closed. Just a reminder, you have 2 minutes to cast your vote. "30 seconds remaining to cast your vote. Polling is now closed. Time truly is flying by. For one more piece of entertainment, let's go ahead and check out this funny video my teammates and I made called Mean Girls and Boys.
Oh my gosh. Gage thinks you're mad at him because he hasn't taken the census yet.
Oh my gosh, I'm not mad at him. I'm worried about him. I think somebody purposely told him not to take it as a joke or something. But with everyone laughing at him, he's going to have a total meltdown. But then who's going to have to be there to take care of him? Me.
So you don't think that anyone is going to laugh at him for not taking it?
Guys, it's literally the law as an American citizen to take it. I mean, That sounds bad, but whatever. Taking the census is important. The crazy thing is that people always forget to take the census because it happens only every 10 years. And they should have played the joke on Colin because he's the real silly goose. Anyways, I gotta go. I'm going to bed. Bye.
I got everything that he said on recording. I'm going to send it to Gage right now so he knows Brody isn't upset with him. Well, Brody's not mad at you.
Did you watch the recording of what Brody said about you?
Yes, I did. Hold on.
Are you okay? You seem off.
Shh. Stay on the call.
Hello.
If someone says something bad about you, you would want me to tell you, right?
No.
What if it was someone that you thought was your friend?
What's your... Hold on. Someone else is calling me.
I'm not taking this anymore.
Good for you, Gage.
Hello?
Let's go out.
Okay, hold on. I'm on the other line with Gage.
Ugh. Don't invite Gage. He's been driving me nuts.
Hold on.
Okay, hurry up.
It's Brody. He wants to hang out with me tonight, but he told me not to tell you.
Do not hang out with him.
Why?
You don't want me to tell you.
You can tell me. Hang on. Oh my god, he's so annoying.
Who is?
Who's this?
Gage?
Right. Hold on. Oh my god, he's so annoying.
I know, just get rid of him.
Okay, what is it?
Brody says everyone hates you because you're such a silly goose and you're not going to take the census.
He said that?
You didn't hear it from me.
A little harsh, Gage.
Yeah, you could have at least explained the importance of the census to him.
Whatever. It's important for him to know.
It's important for him to know that it provides funding for schools, roadways, construction planning, healthcare, and so much more.
It even determines how many seats our state gets in Congress.
And it's crucial that everybody takes it.
Even everyone from the rural and southern areas where I come from.
Yeah, everybody counts.
Even our silly goose Colin counts.
I can't go out. I'm sick.
Boo. You...
If you haven't done it yet, be sure to fill out the 2020 census. In the Illinois Association FFA, Major State Officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has not yet been reached for this office. We must continue to vote until that majority has been reached. After reviewing the votes, it is the chair's recommendation to keep the top 3 candidates and drop the bottom 3 candidates. The chair will now entertain a motion. Remember to type in your section number and your name and type your motion in the chat icon. The chair will refer to the Zoom room monitor for recognition. The chair recognizes the delegate from section 23, Adam Loker, to keep the top 3 candidates and drop the bottom 3 candidates. Is there a second? The chair recognizes the delegate from section 12, Sophia Reevely, to second. Thank you. It has been moved and seconded to keep the top 3 and drop the bottom 3 candidates for the office of State FFA Treasurer. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. For those in favor, please click yes. Those opposed, motion carries, sorry. For those in favor, please click yes. Those opposed, please click no.
Motion now carries. Mr. Secretary, please read the names for the candidates we'll be voting on for State FFA Treasurer.
The candidates you will be voting on for the office of State FFA Treasurer in the order they are listed on the ballot are Avery Plody, Morgan Jones, and Emma Coons.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. To cast your vote, select the candidate of your choice at the bottom of your electronic device. You will see it highlighted when selected. You are able to change your vote until the voting is closed. Just another friendly reminder, you have 2 minutes to cast your vote. "30 seconds remaining. Polling is now closed. We will now be viewing a section president promotion video. Let's go ahead and check that out.
You count.
You count.
You count.
You count.
You count. You count.
You count.
You count.
You count.
You count.
You count.
You count.
You count.
You count.
You count.
You count.
You count.
You count. You count.
Polling has now been closed, like we said, and now is the chair's recommendation to drop the bottom candidate, and we will go ahead and continue on voting those top two candidates. Mr. Secretary, will you please read the list of names eligible for the office of State FFA Treasurer?
The names of the candidates you will be voting on for the office of State FFA Treasurer as they appear on the ballot are Avery Plody and Emma Coons.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Again, to cast your vote, select the candidate of your choice at the bottom of your electronic device. You will see it highlighted when selected. You're able to change your vote until the voting is closed. Remember, you have 2 minutes to cast your vote. 30 seconds remaining to cast your vote. Polling is now closed.
In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has been reached for this office. And now, the final moment we have all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020-2021 Illinois Association FFA State Treasurer is Emma Coons!
I want to thank my mom and my dad and all of Illinois FFA for giving me the opportunity to serve you this year as your state treasurer. I told you in the beginning of this that I would work to stop asking if our dreams are crazy and start asking if they're crazy enough. So let's continue that through the rest of the year, because I promise you're going to see those mom-like dance moves. Thank you, Illinois FFA.
FFA members, advisors, and guests, it is my honor to introduce you for the first time your 2020-2021 Major State Officer Team. Your state president, Lexi Miller. Your state vice president, Molly Shemp. Your state reporter, Margaret Vossen. Your state secretary, Jordy Oliver. And your state treasurer, Emma Coons.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Samantha Kemple. It has been an honor to serve as the 2019-2020 Section 1 President. I am proud to present to you the 2020-2021 Section 1 President, Braden Baldoff.
My name is Margaret Vossen. It has been an honor to serve as the 2019-2020 Section 2 President this past year. I am proud to present you Renee Gerke, the 2020-2021 Section 2 President.
My name is Joshua Sims. It has been an honor to serve as the 2019-2020 Section 3 President this past year. I am proud to present to you Brianna Brewers, 2020-2021 Section 3 President.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Eliza Lilliman from the Rockridge FFA chapter, and I had the honor of serving as the 2019-2020 Section 4 President. I am very excited to introduce to you the 2020-2021 Section 4 President, Miss Jacqueline Jansen.
What's up, Illinois FFA? My name is Brad Weber, and I had the great privilege in serving as the 2019-2020 Section 5 FFA President. And now it is my honor in introducing to you, for the first time ever, the 2020-2021 Section 5 FFA President, Miss Caroline Gill.
My name is Allie Drake. It has been an honor to serve as the 2019-2020 Section 6 President this past year. I am proud to present to you Brooklyn Boderman, the 2020-2021 Section 6 President.
My name is Avery Plody, and it has been an honor to serve as the 2019-2020 Section 7 President this past year. I am so proud to present you Kara Freebaron, the 2020-2021 Section 7 President.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Liliana Romero, the 2019-2020 Section 8 President, and I'm proud to introduce to you all the 2020-2021 Section 8 President, Keely Wickstead.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Molly Shemp, the 2019-2020 Section 9 President. I am so proud to present to you the 2020-2021 Section 9 President, Lauren Moore.
Hey there, Illinois FFA. My name is Rodney Billerbeck, and it has been an absolute honor to serve as the 2019-2020 Section 10 FFA President. I have the distinct privilege to introduce to you your 2020-2021 Section 10 FFA President, Ms. Shelby Basham.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Tessa Sargent. It has been my pleasure and privilege to serve you this past year as your Section 11 President. It is my honor to introduce to you your new Section 11 President, Gracie Murphy.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Sophia Reevely, and I have the honor to serve as the 2019-2020 Section 12 President. And I am proud to introduce to you all the 2020-2021 Section 12 President, Miss Anna James.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Lauren Sachs, the 2019-2020 Section 13 President. I am proud to present to you the 2020-2021 Section 13 President, Cody Bradshaw.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Emily Curry, the 2019-2020 Section 14 President. I am proud to present to you the 2020-2021 Section 14 President, Luke Adams.
I am Madeline Thornsberry, and I proudly served as your 2019-2020 Section 15 President. It is my honor to introduce to you the 2020-2021 Section 15 President, Jordan Gerlach. I can't wait for you to make your own impact on Section 15.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Zane Gardner. It has been an honor to serve as the 2019-2020 Section 16 FFA President this past year. I am proud to present to you Jayton Schaefer, 2020-2021 Section 16 FFA President.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Morgan Jones, the 2019-2020 Section 17 President. I am proud to present to you the 2020-2021 Section 17 President, Miss Mallory Ames.
My name is Andrew Davis, and I served as the 2019-2020 Section 18 President. I am proud to present to you today the 2020-2021 Section 18 President, Miss Madison Wells.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Chase Timmon, and I proudly served as the Section 19 FFA president for this past year. With me here today, I have the 2020-2021 Section 19 president, Lino Calderero.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Emma Kuntz. It has been an honor to serve as the 2019-2020 Section 20 president this year. I am proud to present you Riley Walden, the 2020-2021 Section 20 president.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Katie Huff, and it has truly been an honor to serve as the 2019-2020 Section 21 president this past year. I am proud to present to you Rhett Ellis, the 2020-2021 Section 21 president.
Hey there, Illinois FFA. My name is Lexi Miller, and I was proud to serve as the 2019-2020 Section 22 president. I could not be more proud to present to you the 2020-2021 Section 22 president, Jesse Hodrick. I cannot wait to see what you do for Section 22 this upcoming year.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Coy Crawl, the 2019-2020 Section 23 president, and I am proud to present to you the new 2020-2021 Section 23 president, Adam Loker.
Introducing your new Section 24 president from the Trico FFA chapter, Morgan Snyder.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Jordy Oliver, and it has been such an honor to serve as the 2019-2020 Section 25 FFA president. I am proud to present to you the 2020-2021 Section 25 FFA president, Kate Bond.
Its worthy undertakings. May you work intelligently, seriously, and above all, professionally to fulfill the responsibilities of your office. It is an honor to be a section president in the Illinois Association FFA. From time to time during the year, you may encounter difficult problems, but through cooperation, hard work, and dedication, you will succeed and the FFA will prosper. I now declare each of you properly and duly installed as the section president for the 2020-2021 State FFA Officer Team. May your year of service be marked with integrity, dedication, and cooperative spirit. Seek harmony among your fellow officers and set high standards of leadership for all section members. To the retiring section presidents, your year of service to the Illinois Association FFA has been earmarked by hard work, dedication, and loyalty. This year, our state officer team has accomplished many great things, and each of you played a very important role in our success. This year, you have served not only as a leader in our association, but also as supporters, role models, and great friends of ours. Thank you for dedicating a year of your life to the FFA. Congratulations on a job well done, and best of luck to the newly installed section presidents. As we conclude the 92nd Illinois FFA election session, it is time we install the 5 leaders of our organization for the next year. These 5 Blue Jacket ambassadors will serve as your major state officers for the 2020-2021 state officer year. I commend each of you for your willingness to serve one of the most critical roles within our organization. Throughout this year, you will face many challenges and obstacles. However, with a positive attitude and strong friendship with your fellow teammates, you will overcome these trials and the organization will continue to prosper. Take the time to reflect on your year and serve this organization to the absolute best of your ability. Most of all, remember to have fun. In closing, remember why you are here. You were all elected for a reason, and do not ever question your ability to the association. Over 20,000 Illinois FFA members are looking up to you. Never lose sight of that. With that, on behalf of the 2019-2020 Illinois Association FFA Major State Officer Team, we wish you the best of luck, and always remember we are here for you whenever you need us. Lexi. As President-elect, you've been selected by your fellow members to be the leader of our organization for the upcoming year. You are therefore responsible for guiding our organization in all of its worthy undertakings. May you work intelligently and seriously to fulfill the responsibilities of your office. Congratulations.
Molly, as Vice President-elect, your record of accomplishments indicate you have those qualities of leadership which we all should possess. You are to assist the President in directing the work of our organization, preside over meetings in her absence, and keep all committees working effectively.
Jordy, as Secretary-elect, you have been chosen to keep an accurate minutes of our meetings and to carry on the organization correspondence. You should provide the organization with order of business and committee assignments for each meeting. You will also keep a list of members, a record of degrees awarded, and have custody of the Constitution.
Emma, as treasurer-elect, you have been placed in a position of trust. Your duties require you to keep an accurate record of receipts and disbursements and provide regular financial reports. It is also your responsibility to assist in developing the organization's budget and maintaining financial practices.
Margaret, as reporter-elect, your duty is to inform the public about the FFA. You are expected to work closely with the news and media, including state and national publications. You should keep a record of photographs and articles published concerning the FFA and its members, and you are responsible for compiling our FFA history.
It is an honor to be an officer in the FFA. From time to time during the year, you may encounter difficult problems, but through cooperation, hard work, and dedication, you will succeed and the FFA will prosper. I now declare each of you properly and duly installed in the respective office in which you were elected. May your year of service be marked with integrity, dedication, and a cooperative spirit. Seek harmony among your fellow officers and set high standards of leadership for all chapter members. We look forward to this team taking the reins for the 2020-2021 school year at the conclusion of our virtual state convention later this summer.
Mr. Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I have none, Mr. President.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should probably come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn the election session of the 92nd Illinois FFA State Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in our labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, please join me in a salute to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now declare this session adjourned.